Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexathon's here doing double duty today, reacting to the great overtime win over the New York Knicks on MLK Day yesterday, and also preview setting you up for the game tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee tonight. Let's go, Raptor freaks. That's right, baby. Woohoo! That's right. Just when you underestimate the Raptors, just when you say, oh, I figured them out, they're a bad team, we start to show the signs of our culture once again being very strong, as in never say die, never give up, never count us out, never say the Raptors are a shitty team or a bad team, because we are back, baby. That's right. We still have that culture in our team, that culture of sticking in there, hanging out, trying to win the game no matter what, and getting that win no matter what. And boom, we did it yesterday against the odds in some ways. And also, it just in a really gutsy way. Like, there was enough good stuff happening with the team. You know, there were mistakes. It wasn't perfect, but New York made mistakes and wasn't perfect either. And it was who could manage to win it at the end. Tom Thibodeau blames the free throws for why the Raptors beat the Knicks yesterday. The free throw differential of us being put on the line way more than them is the big factor in why we won. We also made more three-pointers than them in this game yesterday. That's an interesting stat, that we actually beat them in the three-point shooting contest, because it was interesting. We did not win the rebound battle. They beat us on the rebounds, but we did win the turnover battle. And that was very, very important also. But yeah, so happy to be celebrating an overtime victory over the Knicks in their own house. And this is what I'm saying. It's about culture, baby. It's about Raptors culture. And this is what Raptors culture is all about. Nail biter, Cali stress meter sky high, but we win, we make it happen. We have good leadership and we make it happen. And on the reverse, that's Knicks culture, to like crumble, to make things seem so good, but they're too good to be true for Knicks fans to believe in them and say, oh, is it this year finally? And then boom, crashing down. And reality that you are the New York Knicks, and your culture is to have failure and make you feel upset and be sad about the team. Well, that is a part of their culture. It's been built into it since the 70s. It is not the way that they are anymore, winning and getting real far. So that's the difference right there. Boom, culture. Raptors culture, cutthroat, get through it, get as much as possible and try and win no matter what. And that's what we did yesterday. We did win. That's right. We did win. Oh, yeah. Nameless is here. Can't be here live, but just dropped in to say, let's freaking go. Bring on another win streak. Let's not get discouraged. The playoffs is right here. This ain't new to us. That's right. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep trying to win, kicking butt. And we'll see where we are at the end of the season. And hopefully we'll have the opportunity to give our youngsters some playoff experience still. At the end of the year, want to see Scottie be in the playoffs, both of his seasons in the NBA so far. Yeah, Guardian Transit saying Scottie really starting to come on. The boy is looking really good. Yeah, Scottie, he was kind of the man again yesterday, but in some ways it really was Fred. Let's do our 3 stars for the game right now. My first star is Fred VanVleet. The adversity, the questionability of him yesterday, us not knowing if he would play or not. With a lot of people saying, well, if he's hurt, we don't want him to play because he will hurt us. Then I was really surprised, actually, yesterday afternoon to hear that he would be playing. And I was happy about it, because in some ways it told me, it's like, look, Fred is not shying away from the bullshit, the controversy. He wants to be there. He wants to show up, and he wants to do a good job. And that's exactly what he did. Our leading scorer yesterday, 33 points, 10 and 23 from the field, 5 of 13 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, only 1 turnover, and a +3. Freddie, really, really good job. I love the 5 3-pointers. That you had a lot of 3-pointers, and that were really crucial and helpful at very crucial, important times in different places. Those threes were huge for us. And I love that you were doing the catch and shoot. I love that you were doing the step up into it. I love that 1 3 that you did when you rolled the ball up the floor all the way up to the 3-point line, and then you just scooped it up and shot it off of a Pascal screen. That was a beautiful play. I love that. There were quite a few very nice Fred VanVleet plays where you show him being very measured, very purposeful, him getting into the lane and dribbling around and getting lay-ins in traffic and really tough situations. Clyde Frazier was marveling at Fred VanVleet when he was calling the game for the Knicks, saying, how did he make that? He went into the land of giants and he threw it up and he put it in. And 10 of 23 isn't the best shooting, but I will take it. 33 points for Fred, number one star. All you Fred haters, as Adriana said yesterday, she texted me, I hope all you Fred haters just shut the F up because you have nothing to say about Fred today. And Adriana, that's her message for y'all as a Fred VanVleet lover. She's telling all you haters to just sit down and be quiet. I love it. I love that feistiness for hearing from her. Scottie Barnes is my second star. He was a +8 with 26 points. 8 of 16 from the field. I love that he shoots 50% or higher usually. 9 of 13 from the free throw line. There were a few missed free throws that really bugged me. But for the most part, listen, Scottie had to shoot some clutch free throws at the end of the game and to get us to overtime. And that was really important, Scottie, making those. And he showed a lot of resolve and polish and just wherewithal of holding himself together. Really, like in some points, antagonizing the crowd, making his free throws late in the game, going like this towards the crowd. Yeah, I want to hear it after he makes one. And then he makes the second one. Crazy confidence Scottie showing last night. Not only that, there were some other things that developed with him last night. 6 offensive rebounds for Scott. I love that so much. He really was the guy that was crashing the boards the most for us. And we absolutely needed him to. He had 7 rebounds altogether, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, a +8, 26 points. Scottie Barnes, second star. And then the play with Quentin Grimes is very fun. I'm looking at it on my Twitter right here. He's like pointing his finger at him, waving it at him. He pushes Siakam. And then Scottie comes over and he says, yo, man, you're not him, bro. You're not him, bro. He said, you're not him. You're not him, bro. You're not him. You are not him. And he's pointing the finger at him. And it's hilarious because it's like, listen, it's like Scottie can say he's him a little bit more than Quentin Grimes. But that whole situation was hilarious. They're all bunched up because they're trying to do an inbounds play. And there's like 4 Knicks standing there, and Grimes pushes Siakam like with a dirty little elbow, and Scottie gets mad at him and starts waving his finger. You're not him, bro. You're not him, bro. Just wanted to let you know you're not him. This is gold. This is Raptors moments gold. I'm telling you, Scottie's telling Quentin Grimes was a sign of something new with him. That there's an attitude with him. That he has weight that he can carry on this court and throw around to a degree. There were no repercussions from that. Quentin Grimes is like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm not because Scottie put him in his place. And yeah, that was awesome. I love that so much. And of course, Grimes missed a big shot later. And that was so cool. I love all that stuff. My third star for the game is, this was a tough decision because honestly, I must say this. Siakam had a good game, kind of, but he missed all 7 of his 3-point shots and he fouled out. He was a +9, 20 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. That there was a lot of good things about Siakam, but this isn't a good performance by Siakam in a lot of ways. Just 20 points. Missing so many shots, especially the threes. So I couldn't put him as the third star. OG is a weird one too, because listen, I want to talk about OG real quick last night. He was off. He was not very good last night. He looked clumsy. He was losing the ball. He was a second too late. Every loose ball that was around him, he fumbled. It seemed like at some point in the middle of the game, the Knicks had sticky tape on their fingers, and we had this kind of magnetic force that pushed the ball away from our hands. Because there were a lot of 50-50 balls and rebounds that we were there. We could have gotten them, but somehow the Knicks were getting to them quicker than us and grabbing them before us, even though it seemed like we were right there. And in some ways, it felt like an effort problem. I was really worried the Knicks were out-efforting us, that the Raptors were not showing up and doing the out-Raptor kind of stuff, that the Knicks were very energetic and very much trying very hard in the middle of the game, and they were actually beating us. on a lot of the battles to get to the possession of the ball. And OG was a part of this because at some reason he just not did not have a nose for the ball last night. And he would lose it, or he would just like it would be right there and he could just take it, but he wouldn't because I don't know what it was. He just looked very clumsy last night and just a little off. Now he had some key 3-pointers last night, which were really awesome. I love that. The 2 threes late were really fantastic and important in the overtime. And Scottie finding him that way was really fantastic. Like, but see, OG didn't have any points before then. He had 4 points for the whole game, and then he made the 2 threes in overtime, which were huge. 10 points overall for OG, 40 minutes, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. So he got his more than average steals, but no, OG is not my third star because he was really clumsy. He was off. He had an off game. My third star is Gary Trent Jr. 6 of 14 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. I love the 50% shooting from the 3-point line. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, a +4 with 18 points. Now, that's not a super great Gary Trent Jr. game, but he did hit key shots from time to time, and he was a very important part of keeping scoring going. And I want to give him a little credit for games in recent past that I haven't recognized him in the 3 stars. But today I'm going to recognize him as the third star. So my 3 stars for the game: Fred VanVleet, Scottie Barnes, Gary Trent Jr. Now, looking at the bench last night, he limited the bench and went heavy on the starters yesterday, but I wasn't mad about it because in some ways, they were much more capable and they were doing better things. And also, if he's going to do that, he's going to have to watch out, especially with the Milwaukee game today. And they have to play a back-to-back. Now, Milwaukee is also on a back-to-back. They played yesterday and they beat the Pacers in Milwaukee. So there is an advantage for them because they didn't have to travel, but also because our game was earlier in the day yesterday. This made it a lot more simpler for us to just fly to Milwaukee after the New York game, get in the hotel last night, get a good night's sleep, and be prepared for this Milwaukee game today. So in some ways, yeah, Milwaukee played also yesterday, just like us. So they're on a back-to-back also, and they beat the Pacers in a very high-scoring game yesterday, a 132 to 119. The Bucks did not play with either Giannis or Chris Middleton. They were missing some players, and they still stepped up behind Drew Holiday and Bobby Portis and beat the Indiana Pacers. Of course, the Pacers were without Halliburton. Just to make things more clear about what they were dealing with, there was no Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers in that game. But yeah, the bench for the Raptors scored 16 points, and that was 8 from Boucher and 8 from Achiuwa. And they didn't play a 5th guy. They only played 4 guys off the bench: Malachi, Juancho, no Koloko yesterday, which was interesting. I really love Precious. Precious is amazing. He really is kind of melded in to the starting lineup as the game goes on. You see him playing in crunch minutes, really important times. He plays late into the 4th, and I love all that. Precious, you're a badass. 8 rebounds with 8 points. Yeah, made all 4 of your free throws. That's a big deal with Precious. Him making all his free throws was a big deal last night. Very proud of him for that. And then Chris, really just that energy dude, once again, coming out there, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. There was one section play where Chris got a really badass block on Mitchell Robinson, which was really, it was either Robinson or Randall, one of the 2 big guys for New York. And then came down the end of the court and got an offensive rebound off a miss by somebody like Gary Trent Jr. and jammed it home on top of them. Chris was a badass. He really did cause a spark in the middle of the game last night, and just a solid contribution from him all around. He hit a 3. He got to the free throw line for a few shots, 2 offensive rebounds, 3 rebounds altogether, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. And that 1 block was a really, really pretty one. Because honestly, they had that shot and he was going to dunk it down and he stopped them. And I'm really proud of Chris for that because he's not been the best defender in that kind of way, and he would get just dunked on. There was one play where he ran all the way down the court just to get dunked on by somebody. But he was fantastic last night. I was really happy with him and Achiuwa. And the fact that those two are at least two very capable, consistent bench players for us really means a lot. We need them. We need them bad. All right, let's keep going. Good morning to superfan Monique Lawrence. Happy game day. Say what you want about last night's game, but wow, on the edge of your seat, kind of game. What's back stiffness? Fred, my 3 stars are going to be Fred, Scottie, Pascal, but rough. Yeah, so she's picking Pascal instead of Gary. Indifference of mine, no problem with that. But Freddie and Scottie, definitely 2 of the stars for sure. Yeah, what a different kind of day for Fred. Who knows? He may have heard all the noise. He may have been like, yeah, screw this. I feel good enough. I have some points to prove to my haters. Let me play, coach. And I was a little worried. I was like, don't play if you're kind of hurt, Fred. And you may hurt us and our chances of winning. Well, it didn't matter. He was fantastic. He came out there and he was really, really good. He does really well against New York. And that may be part of the reason why I was like, I want to get up for this game. Now, I wonder if he won't play today because it's the second night of a back-to-back and he's kind of been hurt. Who knows? We'll have to see. He said after the game he's got to get treatment. And they got to get to Milwaukee and take it one day at a time. He said, I get out of bed every day. It's an adventure, is what he said yesterday. And, well, we'll see how he gets up out of bed today and see if he'll be available tonight. The injuries are interesting, honestly. Milwaukee has quite a few right now. So this may really impact how this game goes tonight. Giannis sat yesterday, and he sat a few games in a row, and there is a possibility that he will sit once again today. It's his knee. And then Middleton, he's been out too also because of his knee. So we'll have to see if the 2 best Bucks are available for this game today. We may be getting a team much like the Bucks yesterday that did not have full strength. And that'll make it easier for us to beat them. Joe Ingles has also been sitting. We don't mind not seeing Joe Ingles. And then our good friend Serge Ibaka is out for personal reasons with the Bucks right now. So he's probably not going to be available, but he probably wouldn't be able to play anyway. So yeah, the injury list is extensive and it's important. Giannis and Chris Middleton may be out again today. We're going to have to monitor this during the day to see what's going on with the Bucks and see if these guys, these all-stars for the Bucks, are going to be playing or not. And of course, it'll be easier to beat the Bucks without Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So we'll have to see. Raptors, their injuries are pretty much what we know. Otto Porter's out for the rest of the season, and I don't know if Fred will be on the injury list at some point today just because it's a back-to-back. He played heavy minutes, and he's already having a little bit of back stiffness. So we'll have to see. There's your injury report for tonight. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Monique is saying, thank you, OG, for thank you, OG, for the massive threes. Oh my God, seriously. Though I'm glad Bucks are on a back-to-back too. Just no overtime again, please. Let's fucking go. I'm happy for Gary after an off night the other night. And go Nick Nurse and coaching staff back in the mix. Big week ahead of us, 1 game at a time. So happy. I love to hear that Monique is happy once again with winning and good things happening with the Raptors. And she's exactly right. 1 game at a time. These games are going to be tough, some of them. But listen, the way we are right now, we can win any game, whoever we're playing. I don't give a shit. We got Boston later this week. I have good feelings about playing the Boston Celtics in Toronto later this week. And then we'll play the New York Knicks again also. And they are going to want to get some revenge on us for yesterday. So we got some games that are very winnable and very interesting. This game against Milwaukee today may very well be very winnable. I'm telling you, this may be a very winnable game today against Milwaukee. There's a couple of different reasons why. Like I said, Giannis and Chris Middleton may not be playing. Now, it may be that they sat Giannis yesterday so they could play him against Toronto today. But I don't think that we're like the tougher opponent right now in their eyes when it becomes choosing between playing him for Indiana or playing for Toronto. I think he's just out. They are going to be siding on the side of caution with Giannis Antetokounmpo right now with his injury because they don't want it to become a long-term problem this season. And they may keep him out of games for right now just to save him for the long term. So it could very well be he's not playing tonight, Giannis. We'll have to pay attention this afternoon. It will be something that we won't know until probably around 3 or 4. So we'll have to see. Let's see. Tom Duke is here. Lots to discuss. Great team win. Team Tank won't be happy, but Raptors players will be relieved and looking forward. Let's go get those bucks. Yes, buck hunting. We're buck hunting today. And yeah, I'm all about it, Tom Duke. Yeah, there's a lot to discuss. You guys, whatever you want to talk about the game last night or anything else Raptors related, just put it in the comments and we'll talk about that subject. Sometimes there's so much to talk about in the game. I don't know what you guys care about. Maybe you do care about. You're not him, Quentin Grimes. You are not him. You are not him, Quentin Grimes. That was so cool. I love that. I should call Scottie today instead of Nick Nurse. Just say, yeah, you should have told him that. You did tell him that. That's good. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that real quick. I'll say it. Don't let's say it. Just do it. All right, let me see. Okay. Yeah, I'm calling Scottie Wayne Barnes today. Hey, yes, sirski, broski, yes, sirski, yes, it's a Raptors freak, bro. Listen, man, I love how you got in Quentin Grimes' face yesterday. Let him know what's up, Yeah, listen, man, if anybody's him, it's Pascal Siakam, and it's not Quentin Grimes pushing him around. Good job, Scottie. I noticed you've been throwing more weight around, man. That is awesome. Listen, you're going to grow into being such a great player in this league. You just got to take your time. I know you're kind of on the fast track, but listen, everything we're seeing is gold. And it just bodes so well for your NBA future. We're so proud of you. Just keep throwing your weight around. I see that you twisted it up last night and didn't have it all poofy. You didn't have to have the big poof like you did the game before. I like that. And you know what? Listen, you're just the man. You just keep taking what you want. Because honestly, there's nobody on the court that can stop you. You can do whatever you want. You just decide how you want to break down the other team's defense, and you will beat them all the time. You have all the right tools, whether it's your big size down low where you can do it by yourself, or you have the vision to look for your teammates and find them in any situation. We're proud of you, Scott. You go and yeah, beat the Bucks today. All right, man. All right, touch grass. Have a great day. And go Twitch family, Scottie Barnes Twitch family. And we miss you, Scottie. You come back on Twitch soon. All right. Okay, thank you. Bye. All right, awesome. Yes, Scottie Barnes. I had to call Scottie today because why would I call Nick? We won. I don't need to get on Nick's case today. So, yeah, let's go. Yeah, Team Tank is not happy today, Tom Duke, and as they shouldn't be. That was something that Van Hoot was saying yesterday. It's like this game we need to win. We cannot win. We cannot lose 2 games in a row. We're going to lose a game. We need to win the next one for sure. And well, we did that. We took care of it. Tom Duke saying my meal for the refs paid off with the ref hit job reversal. All right, let's talk about this real quick. I have to say some nice things about Scott Foster today. I don't think you're a criminal anymore because you played a very fair game down the line. I really love what you did yesterday, Scott Foster. You were not doing a ref hit job to the Raptors. You and Cheryl Flores were actually very, very kind to the Raptors last night, and I appreciated it. Cheryl Flores had some very nice discussions with Fred last night, and I can tell he's already working on getting good favor from her as a young rookie ref. And that's great. Like, that's the thing. If you're a vet already, in some ways, and you have a young rookie coming up underneath, and you've been around, in some ways, you have a little bit of power in that power structure because you're a vet. You've been around a bit. And Fred talking to Cheryl Flores and making her have a little smile, maybe because he said something witty or something funny, is good. Because I saw that at one moment. They were standing there talking, and Fred said something, and she cracked a smile like he said something really funny. So this is all good stuff. That's all good stuff. Now, Scott Foster was very interesting last night. There was some calls on Julius Randle that people really got upset about. And yeah, the Knicks fans weren't happy with Scott Foster. So, I got to be happy with him. And I'll forget that I said anything about Tim Donaghy yesterday. Just realize that Scott Foster is one of the highest rated referees in the NBA, New York's Knicks fans. And that you may be upset about some things, but listen, oh man, I'm just glad he didn't do the ref hit job on us and made it so we couldn't win. He did really kind of do it down the line. Y'all could have won it too. It's just that we executed just a little bit better than y'all. Missing free throws at key times late in the game where your team really killed y'all. That was a huge part of what happened right there, is y'all missed free throws more than we did by the end of the game, and that killed y'all, Knicks fans. So don't get mad at me, and don't get mad at Scott Foster, because, I'm just glad he didn't go biased against us and that he was very, very good. Logical Raptors Fanatics here. Check out Logical Raptors Fanatic on YouTube. Salute the real ones, Project Truth. He hit 100 subs yesterday. Congratulations, Mike. I'm so happy for you. So much respect for Lex and everyone here. Raptors Freak Nation, be elite. Great win yesterday from a tough one into growing moments win. Yes, Mike. Wasn't that a fun game to watch? And it's so fun to win early in the day because you're awake for longer of the day with winning feelings. It's just like when you lose on Christmas to Boston, it hurts, and it hurts for more of the day. Well, you win during the day on MLK Day, and you feel real good. And I love it. That was a big win. That really was a big win. Thibodeau was not happy. And listen, we had to work through some stuff. Like I said, they were out hustling and out working us at one point, but then we switched it and we started saying, okay, now we got to be the guys to get to the loose balls and the rebounds faster than the other team. And we started working even harder and getting even more scrappier. It really was like a street fight, Eastern Conference kind of game yesterday. And we did a good job. We got in there, and look, the battle of the boards was very important last night. And people like Precious and Scottie really were helping our side keep even with them, even if we did not win the battle of the boards. I mean, let me look at the team stats real quick. They're very interesting last night because the battles where we won are very not normal for us. They definitely won the shooting battle. They shot 42%. We shot 40%. They got 4 more shots in than us, and they got 3 more attempts than us. Normally, that's not the case. We get more attempts, and usually the other team does get more field goals. We won the 3-point line, which is absolutely crazy to me. They shot horrible at 3 last night. They were 9 of 31 for 29%, and we were 29.5%, but we made 13 threes. That's 4 more threes than them. That was a huge part of the deficit for us to win. And then the free throws, of course, like we got 6 more free throws than them, and we made 6 more overall. 83% from the free throw line was really important to their 80 because those couple more missed. Both teams missed 7 free throws, but we got 6 more attempts. So that's 6 points extra for us there to make up for the not as many shots. They out-rebounded us by 12. I hate that so much, but we did get to the magic number of 25 assists. We had 27 assists. That shows that the guys were really sharing the ball well, looking for each other, and finding each other. And I give a lot of credit to Scottie Barnes on that. He was really looking and finding different people, and so was Fred. So the assist number, fantastic. That's the interconnectivity of the Raptors. We win when you guys get a lot of assists. 25 plus assists is a great goal every single game, Raptors. And you got 27 last night, and it showed. 8 steals was really big because the turnover battle was we got half the turnovers they had, 12-6 turnovers. That was another huge key part of why we won. And then an unsung thing was we had 12 blocks last night. We had a lot of blocks last night, which was really impressive, actually. The blocks came from 3 from Siakam, 2 from Anunoby, 2 from Barnes, 2 from Van Vliet, 2 from Boucher. So many blocks by guys all over the Raptors last night, and that's pretty cool. Points in the paint, they won. Fast break, we won. But overall, like, it's really weird the areas where we beat them. We beat them at block shots, turnovers, 3-pointers, and the free throws. Those were the big ones, the big ones there. Randolph Phillips is saying, good morning, beloved Raptors Freak gang. I bring you blessings on the game day following an incredible victory. Let's go get another one on this back-to-back. Yes, Randolph Phillips. Blessings to the Raptor Freak crew and to the Raptors in Milwaukee today. Should be a later game because there's a little bit of a time change. And that's another weird thing about them going from New York to Milwaukee last night is that they get a time, they jump ahead. It actually go ahead in time. It's really weird. And they have to adjust. The time will be just slightly different. But I have a good feeling about today, especially if key Milwaukee Bucks are missing the game tonight. We have a good chance to continue winning and beating the Bucks today. I want to see that. I really do. Adriana's here. She's saying, amazing game. So happy to see you, Adriana. And glad you got to watch the game. She doesn't have Rogers. She has Bell Media. And for some reason, Rogers games do not get shown on her cable package. So she does not see any of the Sportsnet games with Alvin Williams and Sportsnet. She only sees the TSN games with Jack Armstrong. I'm sure there's a lot of Raptor fans out there that have Bell packages that are getting shut out of half the Raptor games. And this is a really big problem. And it pisses me off, honestly, that like, listen, you guys are a partner, 50-50, Bell and Rogers. You guys can't be shutting people out just because you decided to go with Bell over Rogers and say, well, you don't get our Raptor games. That's kind of messed up. And that's real screwed up because, like, a whole half of the season, Adriana's not able to watch just because her father has decided to have Bell Media for the internet and the cable. Yeah, that's wrong. In some ways, I'm wondering if that has to do with this weird phenomena of the Raptors winning whenever they're on TSN and not winning when they're on Sportsnet. Because there was a really good winning percentage for Jack Armstrong TSN games recently compared to Sportsnet games. Now, they won on Sportsnet recently also, so I won't say that they absolutely don't win on Sportsnet, but they did win the other day on Sportsnet. But that's the thing. It's like they're winning way more often when they're on TSN. But I don't know. Figure it out. And there's no reason why everybody can watch all the Blue Jays games and all the Leaf games. Why can't we all watch all the Raptors games? And what does that have to do with? Does it have to do with our fan base? Does that have to do with some bullshit? What is going on here? Why can't we watch every single Raptor game easily without having to have some crazy ass cable premium package? You could watch almost all the Leaf games on CBC for free on antenna. And meanwhile, on the Raptors, still at this point, y'all are gouging our fans to have to pay crazy ass cable prices just to see all the games. That's messed up. Get it right, MLSC, and get it right, TV deals. Forgetful saying, good morning, basketball, as it should be played. Bump and grind. Very sexy. Some sorcery going on out there. Sexy sorcery. Making that good sorcery happen. Whatever you did yesterday, Forgetful, it worked. So do some more with your sorcery out on the farm. I want to see more good spells. Cool Cat say, good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Happy for a W last night. No quit attitude is who we are. Grit and grind. Love to see our reigning rookie of the year, Scottie Barnes. Anybody who thinks that dude shouldn't have been rookie of the year, well, they're finding out real quick right now that, yeah, that dude is a rookie of the year. And in some ways, he's even crazier better than everybody thought. The stuff he's doing down low and the way he pushes everybody around and does whatever he wants and how high percentage of it, the rest of the league is watching and they are a little worried. In fact, this is the thing. There's going to be an interesting thing with Scott because he's going to have all of a sudden he's going to be like Siakam at some point where they have to really make their defense around guarding Scottie. And he's going to go through adjustments where he's going to go through ups and downs. I want to tell you guys this before you freak out and start treating him like shit like you have this year with the sophomore slump stuff. Listen, he's going to have a point where he's going to look really good going down low, and he's going to continue to do that. But they're going to figure some stuff out to stop him, and he's going to have to adjust and do things just slightly different because they're going to start really keying on him and bringing doubles at him and stuff. So be ready for this and understand that it's not linear, the growth of NBA players, that there are ups and downs. And what's going to happen is the teams are going to adjust and start treating him with a lot more respect and doubling and tripling him. So he may have a period where he doesn't look as good down low because he's adjusting to the new attention. So y'all be ready for that. I'm putting the warning out for him ahead of time. And you can remember the Raptor Freak told y'all ahead of time that Scottie may struggle at some point because they're going to adjust and start keying on him. So be ready for that. But he is fantastic. I love Scottie Barnes so much and just so happy to see him blossoming like he is right now mid his second season. Because he is. He really is blossoming and he's special. And he's going to have a huge part on us winning going forward. This is part of the struggle I was trying to describe in the last 2 days about the leadership and about the control of the team and taking more responsibility and being more the man. Well, Scottie just needs to be that conduit of something. There's one thing that works really well with the Raptors offense right now is Fred having the ball at the top of the three-point line and finding Scottie in the post, throwing it down into Scottie in the post, and him either assessing whether he's got the easy post shot or him in a split second finding somebody else and passing it back out and hitting somebody for an open three like Gary or OG. And that is such a badass thing. In fact, some ways we need to like start doing this. Like go put the ball through Scott in the low post no matter what. Just have him post down there and get him to catch it. And he won't take it every time. He'll definitely find somebody who's open and make a good shot for us because he draws so much attention into the middle of the lane when they throw it into the middle at him. They all come in, and he's so good at seeing who's out there that's most open. And boom, it's Fred in the corner for three all of a sudden. So I really like the ball going through Scottie's hands in the low post in the offense because good things happen. He gets a good pass or he makes a really high percentage shot close to the basket. So I'm all about seeing more of that. So the ball through Scottie down low. Monique is saying Scottie's post-game interviews and Fred stood out to me. Geez. Scottie got really sad at one moment in his interview last night. You know, he's a very emotional guy. You can tell. One of the interviewers asked him about the losing recently, and you could tell it really has been taking a toll on him, and he's not been very happy. And the way they won yesterday in overtime and really clawing, it really kind of, you got this feeling of like, yes, I feel this goodness of winning now, but I've been very sad about how much we've been losing this season also. Because he got real quiet and he kind of caught his throat for a second. And you can see it in the interview. You can see it. He had a moment where he got a little emotional for a second, just about the losing. And he hates it. You know, he hates it. And in some ways, it's tough. And listen, man, these guys are just like guys in a bunker in World War II. They are very much all together and just shooting guns out of the foxhole, not at each other. They're very much on the same page. There's so much good chemistry between Fred and Scottie right now. You can tell as far as like Scottie really is a great target for Fred, and Fred and Scottie can symbiotically help each other with getting open shots much easier. In some ways, they're the key to each other's success by finding each other in easy ways, whether it's the talent and raw power of Scottie and just like burgeoning coming up. And then Fred's expertise and smartness helps Scottie. So it's like the talent helps Fred and the expertise and brilliance of Fred knowing the game helps Scottie. So they very much are very, very symbiotic and helpful to each other. And they do not take away from each other. They help each other so much. And that should be the narrative that's being pushed in Raptors Nation. Not that these guys don't get along and they can't coexist. They coexist and they work really well together, honestly. That's actually the truth. And we saw a lot of it last night. It was very much Scottie and Freddie's show last night. And them working off each other was fantastic. Lolita's saying, what an exciting game. Let's do it again tonight. Go Raptors. Felt so good last night. Let's just do it again tonight. I love it, Lolita. And I'm with you. I want to see them get another W tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. That's right, Bucks. We want to beat your ass. We've lost once to you this season. We need to even the series for the year and beat your ass. Yeah. Nako's saying Freddie, Scottie, and Pascal were our best players. Those refs were bad. Nurse probably could have thrown in Koloko. Yeah, I'm surprised that Koloko didn't get in there. He was really such a good cheerleader last night. At one point, it was really weird. Everybody on the Raptors bench was sitting except for Koloko. And he had his hood up over his head, and he's standing in this white hoodie, and he just looked like this pillar, like a column in the building. He's so tall. And just standing there. And I love to seeing the Raptor fans sitting near the Raptors bench in Madison Square Gardens, like watching them at the end of the game and then watching the regular Knicks fans around them and how disappointed they were and how happy that little boy in that little red Raptors jersey was in Madison Square Garden in New York yesterday at the game. That was so cool. I love seeing the real ones being there at the game and sitting near the Raptors and really getting that experience and seeing the win in enemy territory. I love that. You are brave, young Raptor fans that go to the Raptors game in New York City and go to Madison Square Garden in those clothes. I appreciate the Road Warrior Raptor fans that show up for the games. And yeah, it was really cool to see Christian standing there, just the lone tall man, a very tall man. Let's see, Nako also saying the refs weren't bad. I don't know. I can't get behind that. Listen, they helped us win. So I can't say they were bad. They made some very, very tough calls that weren't easy to make. There was that one shove where Randall pushed Scottie Barnes late in the game that was absolutely the right call. And that's a call that would have got glossed over in a lot of ref crews. But Scott Foster had the balls to call it at that moment because it was a very crucial time in the game, very late, and it put Scottie on the free throw line to shoot clutch free throws that he made to help us win. So in some ways, that was a very tough call in itself. That Randall push underneath the basket because it was also on our off. He just shoved them. Scott Foster said no. You put him on the line, and that's a tough call to make. In the old past, the Raptors would be disrespected and not get that call. It would just get swept under the rug. And the fact that he had the balls and called it, because it could have just been like something that just didn't happen, that we just overlooked. I really appreciate that. That is something that I have to give a lot of credit to Scott Foster for. In fact, I was impressed with him last night. I know I've come at him pretty tough this summer because of his connection to Donaghy. But, he really did call it down the line last night, and I did appreciate that as a Raptor fan. I really did appreciate that. Guardian Transit saying, let's make some pepperoni out of the Bucks tonight. He wants to shoot that buck and grind it up with the meat grinder and put it in casing and make it into some venison sausage. Yes, Guardian. I love it. That's a great plan. Let's see what happens on the real mascot matchup in just a little bit. Logical Raptors fanatic saying Boucher came to play again. I think having his tag team partner back has him in good vibes and feeling that rhythm with Precious. They really do kind of buoy each other up. I think that this is a big part of why Precious is coming back so smoothly, that we're not seeing such a up and down kind of erratic inconsistency from him. He is very, very, very much been mostly very good in all kinds of different ways. And I think part of it is that security of having a tag team partner. DX is in the house, baby. Degenerates into something, fool. I just got tired of doing what you told me to do. But that's a breaks, boy. That's a breaks, little man. Break it down. Yes, DX in the house, baby. Shawn Michaels, Triple H. Yes. Oh, you go, tag team. Yes, let's go. All right, let's see. G saying, you is not him. You is not him, Quentin Grimes. Scottie to Grimes. This is slang in where he grew up. Apparently, obviously saying you are not him. Yeah, you is not him. You are not him. No, you're not Quentin Grimes. Poor guy. He may be sweating a lot because he's got a lot of acne on his face. I feel bad for that young man. But yeah, you're not him. Scottie Barnes had to let you know. Don't be shoving Pascal all NBA Siakam. Please do not. Please. Monique is saying Precious comes in super early, which I love. Man, oh man. Yes. I said this a couple days ago. It's like, Nick, don't put in the Wancho Coloco line first. Put in the suck it. Degenerate into something, fool. I just got tired of doing what you told me to do. Yes, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, bring them in. They're energy personified, and they are the baddest tag team in the NBA today. Is Precious Achiuwa and Chris Boucher, and it was really awesome to see them come in early. This was good. We needed the energy boost at the beginning of the game, and they came in and they came correct. I love Precious's game right now. He is just so crazy. It's like he is so aggressive in such a quick burst. You never know what he's going to do. And the one thing that I love the most about Precious is his defensive rebounding. I mean, listen, one of the problems we had last night was giving them second chance shots. But when Precious was on the floor, he gobbled up all those defensive rebounds really quick. And you see him zeroing in on them and going and getting them with two hands and bringing it down and securing the ball. One of the problems we've had recently is guys are rebounding with one hand, and it's not always their fault. They have to they're getting tied up in battles, like jostling around for position, and they may have one hand that's kind of caught up in the other player, the player they're guarding or trying to box out with, and they have only one hand to get on it. But it really is a two-handed thing. You want to grab the ball with two hands and secure it and hold it, because in today's NBA, guys get rebounds and they bring them down, and there's somebody on the other team willing to come and bring it out and try and steal it right away out of your hands. So it's really hard to keep it secure and secure the defensive rebounds now. I love that Precious is such a strong defensive rebounder. In fact, he's one of the best in the league. And that was on the down low. One of the things we were super missing while he was out for 2 months is that we didn't have as good a rebounding as far as stopping the possession of the other team. The defensive possession does not end until the defensive rebound is secured and you have the ball. They can shoot and miss, but if they get another rebound, they get an offensive rebound, the possession continues. So the most important defensive play is the rebound. And that's why I love Precious so much, because he's just make sure we get those defensive rebounds, even in up against guys like Randall and Robinson, who are very much problems. We saw Robinson once again doing things like getting easy lobs early in the game and just ugly, like easy baskets that piss me off. I'm like, Raptors, the door is wide open. Why are you giving these guys lobs all in the middle of the game like that? So easy. It pisses me off. Yeah. But yeah, good stuff. And yeah, that was fun. That's a Raptor history moment. Scottie gets in Quentin Grimes' face. You is not him. You is not him. You is not him. So good. Oh my gosh. Fun guy saying Fred had a game. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go. He who shall not be named on this channel. How you feeling about him today? How y'all feeling about him as being a leader and being a winner and being somebody who helps his team win? How do you feel about Fred today? All you people that slanderized him and took him and kicked him in while he was down and put his name in bad places. Fuck you guys. You've seen what happened now. That's right. Fred had a game. And now what you got to say about it? That's right. Cool Cat is saying, low it jump. All right, let me get it right here. Love it. I love it. I love it. So much in the net. I got to make sure I get to all of it. I appreciate it. Cool Cat saying Scottie aggressiveness feeds on a villain. Love seeing Scottie protecting his franchise player Pascal when Grimes pushed him. Please get us a center to save Pascal OG's leg for offense killing them. Yeah, in some ways, Scottie is going to have an attitude. Like, he's a rookie last year. This year, he's kind of in this weird development year where he's a sophomore, and he's not totally throwing his weight around or being who he is personality-wise on the court yet, because he's still fairly new. But maybe we're starting to see the signs that this dude has an attitude and a kind of a way about him that may be very good. This is the kind of attitude Allen Iverson would have. This is the kind of attitude Gary Payton might have, this kind of like competitiveness, and then also a little bit of shit talking, a little bit of showmanship, a little bit of edge. And that's the thing, Scottie, if you're gonna write these checks, you better be able to like pay them, like fulfill the check. And I feel like you will be able to as a superstar in this league. But it's just real fun to see an edge on a Raptors player and somebody who can actually really back it up with some substantial stuff. So yeah, I love it. In some ways, maybe Scott may turn into a villain to most of the NBA. He may be one of these kind of players that we love on our team, but other people hate him because they see him as cocky. They may see him as kind of a shit talker. They may see him as like who is this young upstart kid? Who does he think he is? Pointing at Quentin Grimes, saying he is not him. Who is he? Who knows? We could be seeing a development of a new side of Scottie with some of the things last night that is very interesting. And in some ways, I'm very much here for it. As long as it adds up to winning and it doesn't take away or hurt us, Scott. I know it will hurt us at sometimes, but I think overall, in the long scheme of things over his career, being this kind of player may actually really help. Dylan Brooks has an edge to him that is very helpful to the Memphis Grizzlies. In some ways, maybe Scottie might have this edge that we're talking about right here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nako's saying, I'm giving Fred's season up to this point a B-. We're probably better off resting Fred tonight. I hope he does rest, honestly, in some ways. I said that yesterday, though, and I was totally wrong. And it could be Fred's just like, fuck all y'all. I'm going to keep playing. And y'all are going to love me because I'm going to kick ass. I don't know what to expect with him at this point. It really is this kind of thing. It's like, you know what? Fred's going to be Fred. I love him. I just want him to be successful. And if we win, this is all good and gravy. We're good. Yeah, we are very good. But yeah, B minus. I don't know if I'd give him that. I'd give him a C at least. I don't think he's been good enough. He really is one of the worst shooters in the league this year. His field goal percentage is down near the bottom. And he's got to correct this. He's got to shoot way, way better in the second half of the season. And he has been a fail to a degree. I mean, I know that I'm not a Fred hater, and I love Fred. And I want him on this team. But I also realize that shooters go through streaks, and Fred's in a bad streak this first half of the season. I could give him credit for defensive stuff. I can give him credit for leadership. I can give him credit for different things. But the offense and the shooting has been very poor for him. And I have just to be real. I can love him and want him on this team and protect him from other people, but also I have to be fair and just as far as my assessment of him. And I can't say that he's a B minus. I have to say at most he's a C, a solid C. I wouldn't even give him a C plus. He's a solid C for how he's played this year. And in some ways, I might even say he's a D because I know he could be so much better and so much more consistent. It's just the open shots not going in is just not good enough. Callie saying, "Oh my God, what an exciting game! My heart, so happy." Yeah, Callie, I'll bet your stress meter was a little up and down at the end. There's some ways it felt like we were going to lose again. It was going to be another heartbreak, another one of these games that we've had this season where we're just like so close and then we lose. It's so nice to be on the other side of that for once. And this is our culture. The way we won the game last night, it really is reestablishing and recommitting to our culture and how we are as a team. And if this is something to build off of behind the scenes with the leadership on the team, much like I was talking about yesterday, these leaders have to say, all right, this is how we do it. We just showed you guys this is how we do it. You got to win. We got to do everything possible to try and win no matter what. And that it's important throughout the whole entire game. Hopefully we make less mistakes than the other team and play better than the other team so that we win the game. But we have to be in the position to do it and just do all the right things to get there. Callie, I'm so happy that you were happy and that your stress meter all came through in the end. Daddy Gates is saying the Raptors just match up well with some teams. New York and Cleveland are perfect examples. Yeah, I believe that. I think that's true. In some ways, we do have a better matchup. I think Milwaukee's another team that we match up really well with, which is great because they're one of the tough Eastern teams. Yeah, I think that that's true. But I wouldn't slight them for this because, listen, every single game is a fight for us right now. So every single W we get, I'm not going to slight them for that because they are earned. They are well earned because of how much mentally they've had to overcome in the last month. So, yeah, there are better matchups. Sure. Cleveland, New York, Milwaukee, sure. Charlotte. But we'll see. Let's take it game by game. And we're going to get Boston as a real good test on the 21st this week. Yeah. Let's see what happens in that game. That'll be a really good litmus test to see where the Raptors are and what's going on with them. G saying Raptors had 12 blocks. Yeah, that's a huge block game. And it was everybody. It was a block party, baby. We threw a block party in downtown New York last night. Block party in the house. Yes, sir. Let's see. Country Kong's here. Good to see Country Kong. Great game. We got the Knicks number. Lex, you should call them after you call Nick and thank them for the W's. I hope Fred VanVleet and Pascal continue to let Giannis, a.k.a. Magic, a.k.a. Scottie Barnes, run our offense. We're playing them tonight. Don't call Scottie the player of the other team. Call him Magic, yeah, but don't call him Giannis. I don't really see him as like a Giannis guy in some ways. I see Precious more like Giannis than Scottie in some ways. I really do think like Precious, because of his running downhill kind of open court threat, is very, very similar to Giannis. In some ways, he shoots about the same as him too from the outside. Scottie's different. I really love that Scottie hit that three late. They dared him, and he had the guts and the balls to hit a very important three late in the game. That was really fantastic in there. There was a lot of different things about Scottie and things. I'm not going to call the Knicks. It was funny. Thibodeau was really upset with the refs. He said a lot of things about the refs being really kind of the factor. He was blaming the refs, honestly. He didn't give us enough credit in some ways. And also he didn't give his team enough crap for missing a lot of free throws and other things like that. So listen, yeah, you go ahead and blame the refs, Tom Thibodeau. That's bullshit. But he did it in a way where he won't get fined. He didn't say it exactly right, outright. But Yeah, he did it in a way that he won't get fined. I'm a fun guy saying OG struggled most of the game, but man, oh man, was he clutch. And that's the thing about OG. He's really, really clutch most of the time with late threes. So fundamental. Yeah, those threes were very important. And I was worried going into the overtime. I'm like, this is not good. We needed to win it in overtime, like before the overtime. And Scott missing that one free throw late, it really pissed me off. And then RJ just running the ball right down the court and jamming it. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was so worried that they were going to call a foul on that play and give RJ a free throw just to win the game right then. Thank God they did not call that. That is another thing that I was very happy about with Scott Foster, is that play where RJ made that dunk to get them to overtime could have been an and one. And thank God it wasn't, because that would have been the game and that would have been New York winning, because RJ would have hit that free throw. And the game would have been over. And what a fantastic play by the young man from Toronto, coming all the way down the court like that. But see, that's the thing. Scottie missing that free throw left it open to this. Scott's that learned a tough lesson, because I know he felt, oh shit, in that whole entire moment. And when RJ brought it back and dunked it, he was like really kind of scared that he lost the game for us. And I know Fred had a moment like that too when he fouled because he thought we were down, and that was such a dumb play. To foul the guy and give him on the line and stop the clock. That was so dumb. And he was like, I don't know why I did that. And he tried to make up an excuse after the game, but he knew that it was a boneheaded play. And this is what Fred said after the game. Scottie bailed me out by making a huge play after that and erasing my mistake by fouling Brunson at that point at midcourt. I shouldn't have done that. And when he did that, I was like, that's a stupid foul. What'd you do that, Fred? And it was really a lapse of judgment by our vet, but it didn't end up making us lose, which was really good. It was weird. This game was similar to the last G League game against the Skyforce. There were free throws that could have iced the game for both teams, but they were missed. And it ended up being like going on longer in the game. Like, this is the important thing about overtimes in a visiting arena. When you're the visitor, you're in trouble. Statistically, the home team wins overtime more often than not, because the team is usually tired by then, and the home crowd is a big advantage because they give energy to the home team. So as a visiting team, when you go into overtime in a hostile building, you have to score first, and you have to get the lead right away. And that's what we did. Those OG threes were so key to that, to getting that little cushion in the overtime and getting it to a 2-possession cushion was very, very fundamentally key and important. If we had not done that, we probably would have lost in overtime. If they had scored the first couple baskets in overtime, we would have lost the game last night. So it was really, really important that we scored first in overtime, and those threes by OG were huge. They were huge. And that's a testament to like various different players on our team can slouch and be bad during the game, like OG was clumsy, not getting to the ball very well, the ball not finding him very well. And then boom, they do something brilliant and important that adds to an important part of us winning. And that's Fred sometimes. Fred won't do jack shit for the whole game. And then boom, 2 big threes at the end. That was OG yesterday. And I really love that. That was huge. And it is so fundamental. You're right, fun guy. His stroke, the way he shoots, it's like, this is what I said after he made them. It's like, he doesn't shoot to miss. He doesn't shoot to miss. And it's right. That corner three is so beautiful. OG in the corner, getting the ball from Scottie. I love it. Seymour saying these guys need to show up every game, like rename every stadium the damn Garden if that's what it takes. Good game, Raptors. Yes, Seymour, Pape, you go. And I love it. Yeah, that's part of what it is. They need to show up correct. Come correct every night. Show up to the arena and come into that game very fierce, very much like on point, and what you're thinking and what your intentions are and what you're trying to do. I love that we've seen recently that this is how they're doing it. Like, to start quarters, to start halves, to start overtime, they're going down low. They're going for that high percentage in the lane basket. Scottie had one at the beginning of the second half last night. It was fantastic. I seen right away after the third quarter started, after halftime, they boom, first play after halftime last night. They go to Scottie low, and he gets an easy shot in the lane in the low post. And boom, we start right away with no drought. with our offense to start the third quarter. We broke the seal right away with an easy high percentage shot. And that's what we've been trying to do at the beginning of the game, too, with an OG or a Scottie low post shot that's real easy. In fact, I love that OG stuff that he does. When he gets the ball, he does a little dribble and he takes those little mid-range. That little mid-range shot is so money in a lot of ways. If he gets a little bit of space, he's going to make that all the time, OG. So we got really good high percentage low post players that are good at opening up the seal on quarters, halves, overtime, things like that. When you need to score right away to get like going and not have any kind of tough start because everybody's missing like 8 shots to start the game. This is the way you get around it. You throw that ball down low to the low post to one of those two guys and they bully ball an easy basket right away. That breaks the seal. So good to see Scottie in the second half doing that to start the second half against the Knicks last night. We saw that. It was really good. Let's see. G saying a Knicks commentary group said they do not want to face the Raptors in the play-in or playoffs, and they don't understand why they're so low in seeding. Yeah, see, they're not paying attention to us like we're paying attention to them, obviously. So they don't understand this odyssey of injuries and different problems that we've had this season. Of course, they don't understand why our record's so bad, because now we're full strength and we look so talented. We have such good premium players. I know Knicks fans were probably watching us and they're like, holy crap, they have so many good players. They have Precious. They got Chris Boucher. They got Scottie. They got Pascal. OG. These guys are so good. So they're like top 7 guys are really good players. And yeah, they're probably wondering what the fuck. It's like a lot of coaches have said this team is way better than the record, and we are scared of them. We don't like playing them, and this is still true even with our bad record. That we are a scary team, and nobody wants to face us. That's part of the fun of getting the play-in or in the playoffs. Nobody wants to face us. Let's see what happens. Seymour saying, go with Shaw. You get both. Okay, he's saying get Shaw. You get both of them. Yeah, it's her father that takes care of the cable at their house. And I think it's just like, once again, it's just, I don't understand this. Why can you shut out half of the games from Bell Media customers? That's just not nice. Logical saying replays are the internet's NBA DVR. It's essential for me, but for those without access, NBA replays are great. Okay, I don't know where that's coming from. That's a non sequitur, but you know what? All right, there's an interesting comment by Austin Rivers recently about highlight culture, and I completely agree with him. He's right. ESPN, when it came around in the 80s, it really kind of started something that has kind of gotten worse and worse. That it has shaped the game. That a lot of players like shape their game like LaMelo Ball for highlights and being like cool and flashy. This is not the way to play this game. And this is why I'm like never been like a big highlights guy. And people that just love highlights and players, individual players and stuff, I'm not like that. I like teams. I like defense. I like concept and like everybody doing stuff, the gritty stuff, not the flashy stuff. Well, Austin Rivers, I stand with you on this, that highlight culture has hurt the NBA in a lot of ways. And we're at this point with what we're doing with this league at this point. One of the things I'm really worried about for the Raptors in the future is the league's moving away from allowing defenses to be sound. That one of our biggest strengths is being such a good defensive team. Well, the NBA has changed the rules so much that it's impossible to be a good defensive team at this point. Like that is really part of why we're struggling so much, is that you can't hand check, you can't do any of the old things you used to be able to do, and it's really easy to score in the NBA at this point because of the rules. And in some ways, building your team as a defensive team is folly because everybody's going to be able to score no matter what because of the way the rules are with hand checking and how you can play defense. You can't play defense anymore. So in some ways, we've got to just kind of wave the white flag on defense and start building more offense around our team because there's no way you can shut people out. In fact, our team may have been one of the last good defensive teams in the history of the NBA for right now, until there's a shift that goes somewhere different and allows defensive to be more powerful. The NBA is going to get more and more offensively powerful. And we may be smart to not go in the direction of continuing to double down on being such a good defensive team, because it may become just a scoring race because nobody's going to be able to stop anybody. The whole times last year where we would shut a team out for 6 minutes of a period, like a half a period without scoring at all, those days are gone because it's too easy to score in this league at this point. So Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri may have to start thinking this way, that like this league is changing too much to an offensive league. And the defensive team building is like good in a way. You may need that. What did they say on Raptors tonight the other day? They were talking about situational or important possession defense. Like you don't really worry about defense for the whole game, but then when it really matters at the end, you have like a possession defense where you have to stop them for one possession, just because that's the game winner or something like that. That in some ways the league's evolving to this because of the changes with the rules and allowing offense to just get so easy open shots. And the players are too talented, they're too athletic, they're too good. And the defensive teams, the defenders are not having any powers at this point. They've been kind of neutered as far as they being able to stop without fouling a lot. So this is an interesting overall trend with the NBA that's happening right now. And it has something to do with the highlight culture. So, all right, let's see. Basketball Rewind, Van Hoot is here at G. We have played below expectations and inconsistently. That is why. At Seymour Pay, not when Rodgers purchases Shaw. We can't watch because two media giants own the team. Interesting. Yeah, and Adriana's saying Raptors games need to be on basic cable. Yeah. Excuse me. Whoa. Yeah, we have definitely played below expectations, and we've lost games that were close that we could have won, and our record could be looking a lot better. But that's just what it is. C'est la vie. We go from where we are right now and we just continue to build forward from here. Definitely. But yeah, we're not the team that our record shows. We're a better team than this for sure. Troy Henry saying, Happy Tuesday, freaks. I am in a good spirit after that big W. Also, why they don't call Randall's travels? Well, they did, some of them. It was funny. Wasn't there one point where they were saying that Jalen Brunson or Julius Randle was traveling every single time and to look out for that? And then they did start calling a little bit on those kind of things on them. So I don't know. The refs were pretty good. They let a lot of stuff go, but they let some of the stuff that was important, they didn't let go, which was really good. Monique saying you can now vote for Jeff Dowtin for the All-Star game for the G League. Vote for Jeff Dowtin Jr., Ron Harper Jr., and Reggie Perry. And even J.Weiskamp, you can vote for him. He's on Wisconsin Herd, but he's on our team now. So he would be going as a Raptors representative. So you can vote for him, even though he's only played one game for the Raptors at all. Basketball Rewind saying W is nice. We can't lose two in a row for the rest of the season. Change is on the horizon, but change isn't a bad thing. Change will ultimately lead us to the promised land again. Every L equals a memory. That's right, Van Hoot. As long as, like, listen, let's win again today. Let's keep going. Why not? We're starting to feel good. I can tell. We got some good things going. We had a dud against Atlanta that was tough, and Atlanta was playing really good. And that, in some ways, I know that was a letdown, but I still feel like we're trending up. In fact, look at our last 5 games. We've won 4 out of our last 5 games. And that is a good sign, y'all. 4 out of our last 5 games were victories, y'all. That's trending up. So we're on our way. Mike saying New Jersey mob was in the house too. Michael Imperioli there to pressure the ref mob, or did they pull the old Knicks dive? Just kidding, of course. There's a lot of people in the building. They had the Giants there. The New York Giants were in the building. There was Tracy Morgan. I love Tracy Morgan so much. Spike Lee, of course, and Michael Imperioli of The Sopranos. Michael, I never thought of him as being kind of a mafioso kind of like tough guy. I always thought of him as kind of a wimp, Christopher from the show. I met him in Toronto. He was here filming something a long time ago. This is like 20 years ago. And I worked at the Velvet Underground, and I was working as the bar back, and he came into our bar to have drinks. And he was drinking, I remember he was drinking a vodka and Heineken's or something like that. And he just sat and talked with us for a couple of hours. A very nice guy, Michael Imperioli. But yeah, he was there filming. I think he was filming like Daddy Daycare or some shitty movie he was in. But he came to the Velvet for a couple nights in a row because he really liked the atmosphere, and it was a place for him to wind down after a day at work. And we were open late, but it was kind of cool to sit there and just talk to him for a little bit. Christopher from Sopranos. But yeah, it was one of my celebrity interactions at some point in my life, running into Michael Imperioli and just hanging out with him for the evening. while I worked. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't really look at him as like a mob kind of guy. He's an actor. And knowing him in real life, meeting him in real life, he's not like Christopher. He's not like him. He's very much an actor. You may look at him and think mob, but that's not who he is. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. That was a great game and great day for me. The Cowboys beat the Buccaneers. Hey, let's go. Okay, so Cowboy is a Cowboy, and he was very happy about the Dallas victory over Tampa Bay last night. And Tom Brady, okay, you chose football over family, and now this is what you get. Maybe you should have retired, Tom. I don't know. You lost Giselle, and now your life is, I don't know what you got now. I don't know. Maybe you're better off as a bachelor, as a good-looking Hall of Famer, maybe the greatest of all time in football for the rest of your life. But I don't know. Giselle and your family, man, come on. I don't know. What can you do? But yeah, Dallas, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not the biggest Cowboys fan. I'm going to say this, Bradley. In a lot of ways, I don't like the Cowboys. And usually they choke and they don't do well. And in some ways, it's very interesting that they've changed that and they've won a big game like they did last night. So you go ahead and celebrate, Canadian Cowboy, for big wins for your teams yesterday. You go. I'm a Bucks fan. That is my team. Cool Cat saying, eventually we will have teams deciding who to focus attention. Pascal, Scottie, OG, either of the open guys will be punished. Yeah, that's a big part of how good equal our team is. They have to worry about Fred all the time. They have to worry about Gary. They got to worry about Pascal. We have so many different players on this team they have to consider and worry about in different ways. And Scottie just adding his whole part of it is going to make it even worse, because in some ways his is one that they really have to watch out for, because it is so deadly and so effective. The low post stuff with Scottie, they're going to have to bring guys towards him, and he's going to eat them alive because he's already got that great passing too. So you pick your poison with the Raptors, because he can't guard every single one of them. So one of them is going to get open and something's going to happen. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam. What a game yesterday. My blood pressure was high. Laugh out loud. Great team effort. I'm loving the vibes. Another win tonight. Fire. Yes. Yes, Fiercely Salsera. I'm with you. Let's see who is going to be suited up for Milwaukee Bucks tonight. There is some doubt and question about their two All-Stars. We do not know if Giannis and Chris will be playing tonight, Chris Middleton. So we'll have to see. Keep checking in with me. I'll have it updated on the channel here in the comments. And also, if you're a part of the Facebook Raptor Freak Facebook group, I will be having it in there minute by minute when there's updates. Monique and I are usually in there giving you the news. Isaac Campbell, other people, we're all kind of dropping in information as it goes through the day. If you're not a part of that Facebook chat, you got to find me on Facebook. Look me up, Alexi Odds, and we'll add you to the Facebook chat, and you can be a part of that in there. It's kind of like a during the day thing away from this channel where we keep updated on what's happening with the Raptors minute by minute. There's a breaking news kind of trade or something like that, or anything like with injuries or people not playing, that's where we put it there. Let's see. Basketball Rewind saying memories because become ingrained, and long term it leads to people not liking and feeling and needing a win. Yeah. And yeah, for sure. I mean, we hate losing. Scottie really hates losing. Like, listen, all summer he hated losing just 2K games that didn't mean anything. Like the very little games that are throwaway. You can play one every 5 minutes. Every time he lost those games, he got so mad. He rage quit a couple times where he just cut the whole thing off and went away all of a sudden because he was so mad that he was losing a video game of basketball. So just imagine how it is in real life with a real basketball game, how much he hates it. When we lost to Philadelphia in the playoffs last year, as soon as we lost, he stormed right off the court, pissed off that we had lost. And in fact, he told us on Twitch that summer that he had an idea in his head that he was going to build a narrative about him getting hurt in the first game where Joel stepped on his ankle. and he was going to come back and be the comeback kid and lead the Raptors to winning that series still. That is what he wanted to happen. He wanted to start writing his story as an NBA player in his rookie year, as far as like he gets hurt in the first game, misses a couple of games, and then comes back and leads the team to a great upset comeback victory in the series. Well, it didn't happen. It pissed him off. He really wanted that to happen. He described it to us this summer, that's what he was trying to do. Callie's saying, Lex, you're hilarious. Made my day. You know, Callie, you're awesome. I love y'all so much, Raptor Freaks. And just your passion is my passion, and we share it. And that is what it is all about. The passion for the team. That's right, Tom Duke, laughing and crying. Good stuff. All right, I want to get going on these. We've got a lot to do still. I haven't done the ref report yet. Nako's saying Scottie's season up to this point has been a B+. Okay, we're getting mid-term grades from Nako the Nacho. I'm guessing you're not coming for the game tonight, Gerald. I'm not sure. You know the open invite's there until you're ready and you're feeling better. Scottie B+? No, I'm going to give him better than that. I think everybody's failing on grading him. I think he's an A, solid. He's been a solid A. There's nothing wrong with what Scottie's done this year. He's been fine. He's had the normal ups and downs. In fact, his progress is ahead, and he's doing so much good stuff. I would almost give him the A+ if it wasn't for the kind of statistical downturn in some ways, but not really. I mean, his recent outbursts of 20+ points in some of the games he's done has actually brought his averages up to he's now averaging 15 points per game. So he's up above and at the point where he was last year at this point. So I can't discount him from last year because his stats are actually correcting themselves and looking exactly like the stats, if not a little bit better in the other categories than scoring. So his assists and his rebounds are up. His scoring are right where they were last year at this point. And he's really made it up with really good scoring games recently. So I give him an A myself, but Nako's giving him a B+. That's cool. Kareem Thomas saying, I want Scottie to continue to bully Lopez and Pascal to dominate Portis. It's always fuck the buck and fuck our picks. Let's get a center, Jakob, soon. Yeah, the news out of San Antonio is he's definitely on the market, and they are looking to move him. So Jakob is gettable. We just got to see what their price is and whether it's worth it with us. I really hope Bobby does this move. If we do one move in this whole trade season and we get Jakob Poeltl, I will be very, very content. So I love that. Yeah, I want to see Scottie bully another Lopez. We saw him take the other Lopez to school. Wait, this is the same Lopez. I get these Lopez's confused. The one Lopez is on Cleveland. That's right. And this Lopez is on Milwaukee. Okay, yeah, we took Brook Lopez, which is who we're facing tonight, to school with Scottie before. He's shown that he can score on him, one of the best defenders in the league. In fact, he's in the top tier of Defensive Player of the Year candidates, Brook Lopez. Well, let's get Scottie to hurt that a little bit and show him he can't play no defense on him. Just tear him up down low. I want to see that. And he could do this to Portis too. You know, Portis and Pascal, that's such a silly thing. You know, Portis is actually very friendly with the Raptors. The last time we played them, him and Fred were palling around like they're best friends, which is weird because that whole thing with Portis and Pascal last year made me think that he didn't like the Raptors and have problems with them. But no, they actually have respect and they're actually talking on the court. I can tell. Tom Duke saying final exams are worth more than first semester tests. True, though. Yeah, I like this. I think that's right. Tom Duke saying this in relation to Nako the Nacho's grades. Listen, we're going to see how much we can gain inertia with the second half of the season and see where our team is at with how they play. This could be a whole part where, like, look, the first half of the season's a wash. Who cares? But if we garner enough, like, inertia and we do enough good things and get the team running really sound and playing at a high level around playoff time, we can make noise. It doesn't matter when you start. If you just get to that point by the end of the season, boom, you can make some noise if your team is running really well and feeling it in the groove. And I feel like that could happen with us. That's no reason why that couldn't happen. All right, let's see. Ajay Bula is saying, Fred saved y'all. Good game, Raps. Awesome. All right, I appreciate that. I'm guessing you're a Knicks fan. And yeah, Fred did save us, and we appreciate it because we need Fred to get some good graces up here because the Raptor fans have been turning on him. And we need good things happening for him so they can shut the fuck up, the toxic Raptor fans. Oh, yeah. Nako's saying his defense has been relevant enough, and there's some injuries for Fred. Yeah, Fred's been awesome on defense. I mean, he's crazy. Like somebody was saying last night, every time Randall got guarded by Fred, he couldn't score. It's like, who cares if Fred is a foot shorter than Julius Randall? He can still guard him effectively, and he doesn't make the shots. That's the crazy thing. You can look at Fred's height, and he's such a good defender with his strong hands and just stripping the ball. That he's not a detriment on defense. He can do so many good things on defense that he is definitely always good. And the injuries have been a big problem for why his grade to me is like a C. Is like he's just not shooting well enough, Gerald. I just wish he would shoot better. And it's coming back. It's coming back. It looked way better last night. 5 threes is a big thing. We want to see volume too. We need him to make like 5 or 6 threes a game. That'd be great. One or two threes is not enough in some ways. We need a lot of scoring these days. Lion Hunter saying Fred hates haters WYA. I don't know what that means. Fred Haters WYA. I'm not even know what that acronym means. Hope Giannis rests today. Let's get it. Yeah, we'll have to see. Now, because he rested yesterday, it may indicate that he is going to play today and that he wanted to play against the Raptors more than the Pacers yesterday. But we'll have to see. Mike, a logical Raptors fanatic, saying Scottie is having more success with the secondary actions at the moment, like in the way I explained in my drop last week. Okay, Mike, getting his promo in for his drop last week. Check out Mike's drop from Saturday on offense. Very good stuff. Callie's saying, I really noticed Pascal's defense on some key stops. Great to see. Yeah. We need to give more shine to Siakam. OG gets so much precious. Gary, Fred, they get attention for their defense, but Pascal really is an unsung hero on defense also. He always has been. It's just that we look at his offense so much more than his defense, but his defense is really, really good too. In some ways, he's not that far off of being a really, really good defender like OG, as far as all around and everything. He shut people down, all kinds of stuff he does. He's quick, he's long. Yeah, Siakam needs more respect for his defensive side. Ajay Bula said that was a foul. Refs bailed y'all out. In some ways, I mean, I don't know exact what play you're talking about, Ajay, but I will agree that in some ways there were some calls missed and there were some calls made in different ways. Now, I don't know how it all evened out or anything, but let's just say this: you got to make sure you win and do everything you can to try and win. And in some ways, we did that more than the Knicks. And there were things that y'all did that y'all failed on that you probably should have done better near the end of the game, like make the free throws. That was a really big one. Jalen Brunson missing that free throw is not like him. And that hurt. That really, really hurt when Jalen missed one of those late ones. Now, we missed some late ones too. But overall, it all worked out. And the Raptors got the dub in MSG. I love it. And I know you don't. Cowboys saying, call Nurse, Lex. I'm not calling him today. I called Scottie. I called Scottie earlier. RJ is going to come home at some point. Book it. That would be fun to see RJ Barrett in a Raptors jersey. But I don't know. In some ways, New York is kind of loves him. It's weird because he's one of the first times superstars come there and they not totally turn on him or get really mad at him or run him out or like really make him like he's popular. He's popular. People like him, especially after that dunk last night at the end of the game. Boy, did they really like him in New York. And often guys get run out of there because the fans or the press turn on him. And I don't think that's going to happen with RJ. I think that's his team. He's the dude for that team. And we'll have to see over time. I'm very much like Nick Nurse. I do not lust after other teams' players like SGA or RJ, but I allow for the future to have paths to possibly cross with our franchise down the road. Sure, but I'm not hard up for him. Whatever. If he plays for the Knicks for his whole career, that's great. But if he does end up in a Raptor jersey at some point, I have no problem with that. That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Toronto kid in Toronto playing for Toronto. Yeah. Monique saying, we were terrible in overtime until last night. 0 of 3. Correct me, please. That's right. That's what they said, that we won our first game in overtime this year. We had lost every single game in overtime so far this year until last night. And that's important. That's a very important thing. Part of that is symbolic of Nick overplaying our starters too much and being exhausted in overtimes earlier this season. And then also, like I was describing earlier, you got to jump out and be the first team to score in the overtime, especially if you're on the road. and really keep that lead right away because there's not a lot of time in there. And Fred said after the game, 13 points in overtime by the Raptors, that's a lot of points for in 5 minutes in a defensive kind of battle where it's very hard to score in that last of the overtime 5 minutes. Getting 13 points was huge by the Raptors last night in there. And that was a lot of that was OG and his 2 threes. That's 6 of it right there. So let's see. Calapoon saying Team Tank crying today. Go Raptors. They're like, no, Raptors, you're supposed to lose. We want Wemby. Get out of here, Team Toronto Tank. Fuck y'all. Get in the car. We're winning now. You don't ask any questions. Just get in. Tom Duke is laughing. He's crying. There's a rain. It looks like it's raining here in Toronto. We win when there's rain in Toronto, but we are on the road. They're in Milwaukee. We'll have to see. Fiercey's saying, unrelated question. It's been 10 days since the signing of Weiskamp, and we haven't seen him play yet. What will happen now? Yeah, I think his contract's up tomorrow. So he's got signed on a Saturday. So that means it's like last Saturday was 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the 10th day today. You're right. Well, let's see if they re-sign him to a second 10-day contract. We'll probably either hear that today or tomorrow. And I think they will. I don't think they've seen anything to not like him. The one time he played for 905, he was really, really good. And we just haven't seen him play in any kind of other way. And, of course, they see him in practice. So we'll have to see if they feel like he's a fit practice-wise or with the team chemistry and culture. And then also, maybe they still see some promise in him. So I would fully expect if he doesn't play tonight, this is the other thing. He was in the Milwaukee franchise. He was playing for Wisconsin Herd before this. So we could, maybe play him tonight just because he has a familiarity with the internal stuff with the Bucks this season. So that may be a smart way to play him. But yeah, I fully expect we're going to sign him to a second 10-day contract in the next 24 hours. Nako's saying, I don't watch the other broadcasts very often, but the Philly and Boston broadcasts are my least favorite. Of course they are. Brian Scalabrine and fake Doris Burke. Oh, they're horrible. They're horrible. There's some really bad ones out there. Trust me, Miami's pretty bad too. But yeah, New York's got a really classy group. And I don't mind listening to them because I really, really respect and love Walt Clyde Frazier. He is truly epitome of a top 75 player of all time in the NBA, a champion 2 times, and just a great Knicks legend and just a class act. And they call it really well. Mike Breen has been calling games for the NBA for a long time, and he's one of the best. So we have Mike Breen and Walt Frazier. I don't mind listening to them. Plus, they're very fair. They're not total homers. And they love the Knicks and they want the Knicks to win, but they also give respect where respect's due and saying nice things about Pascal, Fred, Scottie, different things like that. And I appreciate that. I love hearing Walt talk about the Raptors in glowing ways because his knowledge and his insight is just fun to hear. And when he talks about Fred, it's just like cool. It's just cool to me. So I don't mind listening to their broadcast. And there's other broadcasts that aren't bad. Like Detroit's another one that's not bad with Blaha. And there's a couple other ones that I don't mind because they're very humble, just very professional crews. Now, the Boston crew and the Philly crew, as you put it, yeah, they're very tough to listen to. Ala Abdelnaby is annoying, and Fake Doris Burke is also. They call Joel Embiid JoJo, like he's a dog. Go, JoJo, go, 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 JoJo. In Boston, I don't even dare to try and listen to what they talk about on their broadcasts. I know Brian Scalabrine is part of it, and he's annoying. He's very much annoying. Yeah. Basketball Rewind saying TSN is owned by ESPN, at least partially. Yeah. Yeah. ABC, TSN, ABC, ESPN, because ABC owns ESPN. And on top of that, it's Disney. Disney owns ABC, TSN, ESPN. It's all kind of connected to Disney at the very, very, very top. Now, yeah, Bell Media technically owns TSN here, but they're licensed with ESPN, obviously, because they do the Sports Center here, and they have a lot of the same kind of carryover, and there's a partnership. So it's kind of weird to suss out the ownership of TSN. When you get right down to it, Disney is at the very top in the States, and here's Bell. But yeah, that's interesting. G saying apparently just came up that Charlotte is looking at offers for Rozier. Wow, that's an interesting idea. He's definitely a baller. He's definitely a scorer. He's the kind of guy that's like Lou Williams. He will fill up the net and score a lot. And in some ways, he's attractive. he's got an edge to him. He's got that baller edge to him that in some ways we lack. Although Gary is kind of a similar kind of player in that role for us right now. I don't know. That's an interesting guy. I don't know if we should bite on him. I don't know if he'd be totally a culture fit in some ways. I don't know. Too many unknowns and not enough other stuff to give us what we need. I think he would be too duplicitous or too much the same as Gary Trent Jr. as far as things for the role. Now, if we trade Gary and we get Rozier as a replacement, kind of like with a switch, like with Norman Powell for Gary Trent, that may be something like what happens. All of a sudden, Terry Rozier is our shooting guard. That'd be crazy. Canadian Cowboys saying Team Tank and Team Trade slept in. They had a sleepover. Let's go. And Raptor Freaks, let's go, Raptors and Raptor Freaks. That's right. Yeah, you know what? Listen, anybody wants the Raptors to be bad. This isn't a good day for you. Fierce C. Salcera saying yesterday's NBA highlights made it look like the Knicks were on top. Yeah, they'll do that. They'll do that all kinds of different ways. It's really sus. Like the NBA highlights they'll post on NBA.com or wherever will show mostly highlights of the other team, and then they'll suspiciously just show kind of the end, and then it'll say something like the Raptors won. But you won't see hardly any of the Toronto highlights. I watch both highlight packages that are put out at the end of the game. I watch the NBA one, which has usually got the other broadcasters, and then I watch ours that come from the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. And the one with us is always all of our highlights with our commentators. And then the one from NBA is always the opposite. And that's just how it is. It's always been this way. And part of it is that the NBA just thinks that the NBA fans are in America and they just care about seeing it. And it is a way that they slight us also. Obviously, the person that makes the highlights hates the Raptors. That's just part of it. Or maybe they're directed by their bosses to not show Raptor highlights as much as the team that they're playing, even if they won. This is normal. This has been happening a lot recently. There was a game we won recently where like almost all the highlights were the other team, and we blew them out. And I think it was that Cleveland game that we won on that Friday night. I watched the highlights of that game against Cleveland where we messed them up, and almost all the highlights were Donovan Mitchell. And I was like, what the fuck? We won this game. Why are we seeing only Cleveland highlights? They do that to us all the time, Fiercey. They really do. Country Kong saying, it was nice to hear Fred VanVleet say, Scottie saved me. He saved me. Yeah. Reminds me of my favorite gospel song. It seems like our all-stars were humbled by the season and now deferring to our young superstar. I think this is true, and that's really part of what it is. Like I said, there's a balancing act of leadership in this team at this point. That Scottie really is going to help us, and he needs to take more responsibility in leading this team on the court and just in general. And that in some ways, they got to just figure out how it works and who should be when and what time. Fred's still going to be an important captain and leader on this team. And he's got to pick his spots, and Scottie's got to pick his spots and be assertive and take his spots. Because in some ways, Fred's wanting Scottie to step up and take his spots. And in the beginning of the season, he's been sheepish about it, not fully engaged or not fully like just going and taking it. Well, now he is. And we're seeing a different outcome because of that. And it's being more effective. In some ways, they were dropping the ball because the ball was like, well, you guys told me that I'm not taking the ball this year, Fred. Fred's saying that. And Scottie's just not taking it. Nobody's taking it yet. And it's just dropping in between us. And that's part of what's happened in the first half of the season with leadership and taking over and being the top guy for our team. And I think there was some humbling. There's been humbling all around for different people. Humbling to Scott, like this is what losing feels like. You hate it. Fred with the difficulties he's been dealing with. Pascals had to be humbled at different times this year. I think that's very true. And I really do love that Fred said that too, that Scottie saved me. I made a fucked up, stupid foul on Brunson when I shouldn't have because I thought we were down, but we were actually up. And then Scottie saved me. And that's true. And it goes both ways. The credit and feeling a good feelings between the two of them. It goes both ways. It's very much there. Monique saying to everyone going after CJ McCollum, head with me. Thank you. Just want to get it out there. Silliness. Yeah. The backlash from Raptor fans towards CJ McCollum is very strong, and as it should be. Now, I don't think anybody else is coming after him or talking about it, and they should, because like we said, this is not a good look for a guy who's ahead of the union talking about other teams and whether there be trades and stuff. Dude, just not you. Other people may do that, like Kyle Kuzma, other people that are outspoken on Twitter, like Kevin Durant, but not you. You're a leader in the Players Association, and you shouldn't be doing stuff like this, CJ. You really shouldn't. You have to be more classy and be above it. And that's not good. You may not be able to have a podcast and be in Players Association leadership at the same time. I don't think you should do both because it's a conflict of interest, if you ask me. Let's keep going. Nako is saying Christopher Moltisanti was the prototypical Jesse Pinkman. That's right. He was a little bit of a fish out of water. He was a little, but he always seemed to find luck in a lot of ways on that show. Yeah, that's a good show. And I'm glad that a youngster like Gerald has gone back and watched The Sopranos. It's a good show. It's good to watch. Polly Walnuts. Yeah. NBA replays as full games. The internet records everything. Okay, so that's a replays are full games. So that's where you watch the whole thing. I'm just talking about the highlights. I'm watching the highlights. Where are you at? Okay, WYA means where you at. Okay. All right, good. I need to learn these short forms. I'm not an acronym guy. I am almost 50. Captain Save a Bro. Captain Save a Bro. Yes. And that's what Scottie did. He saved the bro yesterday. Just want to say I appreciate the positivity and love your show, our team, and all of its players. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you, Captain Save a Bro. And keep saving bros out there. Just like Scottie saved Fred's bacon with that bad foul, making the free throws and getting us to overtime and then winning the game, Raptors. Thank you, Captain. And you're part of the Raptor Freak Nation. I know that you're here watching, and I'm glad to see that you came live and checked in with us. And keep watching every day, 9:30. I'll be here every day, I promise. Tomorrow I'll be reacting to, hopefully, a Toronto win over the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Yeah, almost to the end of the comments here. And then we'll do the rest of what I got to do for the stream today. Mike saying positivity is the way to be. Who knows what the future holds, but looking and making solid, educated guesses, being positive about the aims can be the difference whether you enjoy the journey or don't. This is so true. And this is a life lesson for today. Listen, sometimes your negative mindset stops you and blocks you from the good things that are coming to you. That in some ways, the person that acts like, they're positive in the worst situations when things are really falling apart around them, they have the good things come to them quicker, because they're staying open to allowing the good things to come to them. Because that's where people get fucked up. You could have bad things happening to you, and you take it in, and you become a block to the good things happening to you because you get so negative about it. You just become an asshole. You become jaded. You become like, this life sucks, and I hate you. And you take it out on people that don't deserve it. Well, that person that you took it out on may have been the person that was going to come and bring you the good stuff again, and that you just turned them off. That this is really, really true, that negativity blocks positive change, that you can just shut it all out by not being more positive in that way. And that's why being positive in negative situations gets you out of those negative situations faster. And that's just a life lesson that can be applied to the Raptors. It can be applied to your everyday life every single day. So think about it in your own life where you may be blocking goodness from coming to you because of your own negativity. And this may be a very simple way for all of a sudden bountiful good things that come your way just because you figured this out. So that's what we do here. We're building positivity, not just for the Raptors and rooting them on, but also for yourself in your own life and having a happier life yourself. Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sue saying, good morning, everyone. Great win yesterday. I'm arriving late today, but better late than never. Scottie was great yesterday. Yes, Sue, I agree completely. And play it again, Sue. Sue was probably working on a YouTube clip. She's constantly doing music reaction clips. And Sue, you go. Listen, Sue, check out my videos. I know they're a little weird and they're new, but I think it'd be fun for you to react to some new videos that are really kind of off the wall and crazy. And you seeing them for the first time and having a real initial reaction would be really fun. So please, if you want to use videos that I'm finding week to week, the new stuff on your channel, that could be a very interesting clip doing the new stuff, Sue. And yeah, you can even tell them you found it from the Lex's Choice videos. But anyway, Sue, check out Sue's channel. Play it again, Sue, with friends. Always a good time on that channel. I love the stuff she's doing on there. I watch it every day. Oh my gosh, Sue, I'm watching you every day. Kareem Thomas is saying, if we beat the Bucks, I mean, when we beat the Bucks, it will definitely catapult our team's confidence into a different atmosphere. Consider tonight our TSN turning point for the season. I like this. I like this confidence Kareem's saying when we beat them. We swept them last year. In some ways, they beat us by the skin of their teeth in this last game, barely in Toronto. And I hate it. I hate it. We had a chance. Gary Trent trying his damnedest. Got us to overtime, and then we lost in the overtime because we didn't have enough juice. Well, we owe them. We need to beat them. We want to win the season series with Milwaukee. We still can. We got a lot of games with them still. So, yeah, let's get it evened and 1-1 tonight in Milwaukee against them. I love that. Captain Savabro saying exactly logical Raptors fanatic. I'm tired of the negativity around our fan base right now with the Fred hate. I need the positivity that Raptor Freak distributes to us. Yes, for sure. And seriously, this is the main reason why I made this channel. I saw over the years how negative Toronto sports fans can get about their teams. And I wanted to safeguard the Raptors from this in particular because the Leafs, it's a lost cause. There's so much toxic in Leaf Nation in different ways as far as like believing in them winning or choke or whatever first round thing that's going on with them, that in some ways that informs the basic Toronto sports fan. And I don't want that cynicism for the Raptors because it's not deserved. The cynicism about the Leafs and what's happened to them over the years is whatever. I don't care. That's their problem. But when it bleeds over because the same fans cheer for the Leafs and the Raptors, no, we got to cut that out. And that's part of it, is to hold space for Raptors fan nation that's positive, that's beyond and away from any of that kind of stuff. And it's really coming in handy this season, the positive space we build on this channel because of the turmoil around the team. And I wondered about that. Last year when I started the channel, we were winning mostly, but there were times when times were tough and we had to shine a positive light. And it was very helpful. Well, this year it's been gangbusters helpful. And I'm hearing more and more sentiment like Captain Savabro, that it's like, look, we need a fresh air. We need more positivity. We're sick of why are you talking so much trash out of your ass? Like, do you care about this team winning or not? Because it doesn't seem like a lot of these people that come at Fred or this critical of the team and they're losing really do care about the team or wanting them to win. Because ultimately, that is the thing that should be most important if you're a Toronto Raptors fan. This is what Masai Ujiri is required of us. We want to win. And we should all want to win. And if you don't want to win, if you're happy the Raptors are losing right now so you can be an asshole to them, well, you're not a fan. And we ain't about that. And that's why this space has been made and saved for us, reserved for real ones, positive ones, the Raptor Freak channel. That's right. And that's why, listen, somebody can come in here and say, oh, it's not free speech if you're not allowing dissenting views. Well, we do allow dissenting views as long as they're educated, knowledgeable, and mature, and not just bullshit. But also, if they are just overly negative and they are good, intelligent views, well, at some point we'll hear your point. But if you're not really coming around or going anywhere with it in the way that we like, then see ya, because this space is protected for the positivity. And people can come in here and be negative, and we'll listen to them and we'll talk about it. But at a certain point, if that's a continued trend and we realize that this fan is just a negative fan, boom, you're out the door, because we don't have time to waste with people like that. We have really good fans here that have things to say. And I'd rather read their comments than the people that are just coming to tear them down. Unless it's comedy, fun, and we can like dog them out. That's always fun too, when I get to cuss somebody out. Ooh, that's fun. I love doing that too. Cowboys saying, good morning, Sue, Kareem. We got this game. We win by 9 tonight. Let's go. Raptor Freaks. Have a great day, everybody. Yes, you go, Cowboy. Sue saying, I will definitely look up your new stuff. I commented yesterday on your new offering. Love all kinds of music. Yeah, there's a new Iggy Pop video, Sue, that you might want to watch. It's very gross and weird. And that's the thing. These new ones are a little bit jarring and crazy. And there's some real art to them. And in some ways, when I make my list, you don't have to go through all this bullshit. You can actually find the very best stuff, because I went through all the bullshit already and distilled it down to the best 15 music videos of the week. If y'all want to see what I'm talking about, it's on my page on YouTube here. Just see it every week, every Friday. I watch like 200 videos that came out over the last week, and I rate them as a music critic. and I actually write reviews on them. And then boom, I put my favorite 15 for the whole week up, and y'all can see what the latest best music is out. This week it was The Weeknd, US Girls, The Go Team, Iggy Pop, lots of good names on this week's new stuff. So go check it out. The new Weekend video. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Are you loving someone else or something like that's the name of the song? It's pretty good. The new Weekend. Yeah. Let's see. Mike saying, Captain Sababro, no doubt. We have a bunch of good young players. Give them a chance before writing them off. I'm not ready to tap out. Nobody's tapping out. This is a long-term thing. Listen, we could tap out on this season, but nobody's tapping out for good because the youngsters on this team are going to bring us to the promised land, down that yellow brick road to another championship, another Larry O'Brien. It's coming. Scottie Barnes, Christian Coloco. These guys are bringing it to us. You know they will. Good morning, Canadian Cowboy. Thanks for the greeting. And Sue saying, talking trash and being negative doesn't help anything. It only makes us more unhappy, and it's damaging to us all. I agree with that, Sue. Negativity is not good. And Cool Cat saying, I just came back from meetings. Oh, my. So much to catch up on. Good stuff, Cool Cat. I love this phenomenon where I go so long on my stream. People go run errands and they come back and I'm still on. I'm like, oh, you're still on. I just went and ate lunch and came back from my lunch break. All right, let's get down to business since I'm at the end of the comments here. Carlos is saying, great game yesterday, although a lot of mistakes from our end made it really close. Hopefully yesterday's game will be a starting point. Yeah, it wasn't the most clean game. And like I said, just win. I don't care if it's ugly. I don't care if we do everything exactly perfect. We just have to do enough to make sure that our level of the points is higher than the other teams. And that's what we made sure we did yesterday, which was fantastic. And good to see you here again, Carlos. All right, let me do the ref report for you guys today. Our crew chief tonight in Milwaukee is Bill Kennedy. Bill Kennedy is one of our favorite refs. He's the one of the nicest refs to us over the long term, as far as like he's been refereeing for 26 years and one of the longest term referees that has the highest percentage for us. He's from Phoenix, Arizona. His favorite musician is Luther Vandross. He would most like to visit Jerusalem. His hidden talent is karaoke. That's right. I'd love to sing some karaoke with Bill Kennedy. Bucket list is to visit the Egyptian pyramids. Now, Bill Kennedy also refereed in the CBA and the WNBA, and his charitable efforts include working with former NBA official Tommy Nunez and running the National Hispanic Basketball Classic to help raise money for inner city youth. He also works with the Boys and Girls Club of Phoenix. Bill Kennedy is a friendly ref to us guys, and I honestly, he's a great ref for us. We win 56% of the time when Bill's around, and the Bucks win 48%. We won the last game that Bill Kennedy refereed for us this season, so that's really good. Our second ref, and Bill wants for food, Tom, he wants filet mignon with a good bottle of red. I can't forget that. He's a steak guy, and he wants a bottle of red wine also. The second ref is the lawyer, Brent Barnecki. He is going to be refereeing for us. He has a wife and 3 kids. He's from Hamilton, Ohio. He lives in Clearwater, Florida now, though. His favorite TV show is Away. Favorite movie is For the Love of the Game. Favorite musician, Chris Botti. His favorite app is FaceTime. He would most like to visit Italy. I don't understand why all these refs have not been to Italy. Y'all need to just go to Italy. Y'all can go there. It's not that hard. Bucket list is Great Barrier Reef, scuba dive, and his favorite meal is chicken parmesan. As I said, Brent Barnecki is a civil trial lawyer. He remains involved in pro bono work for public at-large clients in need of legal services. So that is very, very good. He considers his most memorable NBA assignment to be the game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Minnesota Timberwolves on December 14, 2014, when Kobe Bryant passed Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. There you go. Brent Barnecki, his win record with us has actually gone up. He is 51% winning percentage. We won the last game he refereed. And meanwhile, the Bucks win 56 or 46%. So it's 51 to 46 is the split for Barnecki. All 3 refs favor us today, and that's great. The third ref is Evan Scott, Prince lover Evan Scott, Nick Nurse's favorite referee from South Korea. His favorite TV show is Sports Center. He likes that DiCaprio movie, Inception. His favorite book is Stalling for Time. He would most like to visit the Amalfi Coast. and his favorite app is FaceTime. Also, his favorite meal is steak and asparagus. Barnecki's favorite meal is chicken parmesan, by the way. So we got 2 steaks, a chicken parmesan, and one of the steaks with asparagus, one of the steaks with red wine. So Evan Scott likes to weight lift with his son, and he is our favorite ref today. We have a couple of favorite refs here. 69% of the games we win when Evan Scott is present, and meanwhile the Bucks win 2 out of 3 games, 67%. So very close, but once again, all 3 refs that we have today for the Bucks game, we won the last game that they refereed. So that's a great crew. Honestly, I like it. Bill Kennedy, Brent Bernecki, Evan Scott. That's our refs for tonight in Milwaukee. They're good ones. I like them. Cowboys saying, preach on, Lex. The Raptors might lose the battle, but they will win the war. Never tapping out. Let's go, Raptors. I believe. Let's go. Yeah, we're just set up for success and winning because that's our culture and that's what we're all about. That's what I'm saying. Culture is so important this season. When you have a tumultuous year, you need to make sure your culture stays intact. And that's why we've been talking about culture so much recently. What is our culture? Our culture is to win close games and manage them right and hit daggers and play really strong defense and be all over the place. The New York culture, their culture is to do really well and give fool's gold to their fans and then crumble and fall apart at some point. That's it right there. Monique saying, keep up the great work, bench. Always good to see it. Yes, keep going, Raptors bench. Thank you, Precious Achiuwa, for returning. And Chris Boucher, your tag team is excellent. Yeah, suck it. And then Coloco and Wancho, you guys got a good tag team too. I have no problem with your tag team. Let's see some Jeff Doughton Jr. maybe down the road sometime. Tom Duke is saying, never can find the asparagus. He's got the steak and the wine. Okay, he's got a chicken head and it's always looks like you put curry in there. So it's like chicken curry. There's a cucumber, a chard, and a broccoli, and then there's another steak. Okay, good. We got the food for them. Like I said, this is a friendly crew. I like these guys. Bill Kennedy, Brent Barnecki, Evan Scott are our refs. Jimmy Pope saying, just got off work. Glad I caught the stream. Hope everyone's blessed. Go Raptors. Raptorize your day. Big dubs, baby. Yes, right. Not Badia says, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't womanize, I raptorize. And y'all raptorize your day in a quality of goodness. You know, Jimmy just got off work. Hopefully he was at work. He did his job in such an excellent premium way that kind of energy adds to the world of Raptors fandom and boom, gives them more energy to approach their day today here in Milwaukee tonight. Coming in correct and kicking some ass tonight. All right, here's your real mascot matchup. The last time we saw the Raptor, he's in the woods and he's kind of lost and he got attacked by a hawk. And the hawk got him in the back of the neck and ripped him up real good. So he's bleeding out the back of his neck again. It's bleeding from nicks. He has nicks in his skin. And that's what's hurting him right now. And he's bleeding bad. And he's laying there. He's by himself. And he doesn't know what to do. So he kind of remembers that the Portland Trailblazers that helped him before got these natural herbs from the foliage in the woods and just applied them. And it helped heal the nicks that he had like hurting. And well, he finds them. He actually finds them. He remembers which one it is. And it's not poison ivy. It's not poison oak. He finds the right herbs and he rubs them in. And he's actually getting some relief. And it stopped the bleeding. And he's feeling better. So he got up and he figured it out. And he got a little bit of, helped himself. So he's still continuing on. He's walking. He stopped the bleeding. And he's still walking. But he hears something kind of nearby in the woods. He's still trying to figure out how to get out of the woods, first of all, because he's just in the middle of them. And sometimes you get stuck in the middle of the woods. You don't know where to go. And he hears something kind of nearby walking by. And holy crap, there it is again. This huge buck that kind of fucked him up the other day is like, now he sees it again in the clearing across from him. And they kind of see each other. And it's a little bit like a old Sergio Leone spaghetti Western, a little bit of like High Noon, kind of like face off across this clearing from each other in the woods. The buck over there, the raptor standing there, and he's kind of like, oh, fuck, not this motherfucker again. We'll have to see what happens when the buck and the raptor clash for this next time. Will the raptor this time manage not to get cut up by the buck's antlers like he did last time? Will he be able to get the best of the buck in this real mascot matchup? in the woods. And will he be able to get out of the woods finally? We'll have to find out all that stuff next time on the Real Mascot matchup, Bucks versus Raptors. Yeah. All right, let's see. What else do I have to do real quick? I want to make sure I covered everything because it was a lot. We had to review the game from yesterday, the great overtime win over the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden by the Raptors. Fantastic stuff by Scottie Barnes, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG with big threes late, Pascal just all around great, and then that great tag team off the bench. Fantastic stuff. We are so proud of you, Raptors. My 3 stars were Scottie, Freddie, and Gary for the game last night. And then today, real quick, injuries from the Milwaukee Bucks. Let me see if they've updated this at all. Saying Joe Ingles is day-to-day. Giannis was ruled out yesterday, but he may be playing today. We don't know yet. Chris Middleton probably not playing today. Serge Ibaka definitely not playing today due to personal reasons. So the Bucks are missing some very important Bucks. And I won't be upset if these guys don't show up. So we'll have to see what happens during the day, monitoring the news out of the Bucks camp as far as whether Giannis is going to play tonight or not, because we don't know. He may not play tonight. He's been hurt. He's missed like 3 games in a row, just so y'all know. Tom Duke saying, great Lexathon, Raptor of the day, everybody. That's right. Okay, we're just under 2 hours. I'll finish it up before 2 hours comes up. Unpopular Raptors saying, we're missing important Bucks last time, too. Laugh out loud. Yeah, they were. They were missing a couple guys last time, but they did have Giannis the last time. They were missing like Drew Holiday and a couple of the guards the last time we played them. Well, look, we're still pulling it out of the mud, and we weren't fully enough ready to pull out the mud when we played Milwaukee the last time. But we were this close. We had such a horrible start that if we hadn't started so badly, I think we would have won that Milwaukee game. That we just put ourselves in such a bad hole right from the beginning. Well, we can't do that again. And I feel real good about tonight. One way or another, I think we want to even the series. And if our guys are feeling good from yesterday, maybe they can bring that inertia in to the game today. Once again, they played yesterday also. So both teams will be on the second night of a back-to-back today, Milwaukee and Toronto. Now, they didn't have to travel, but still, they had to score a high-scoring game against Indiana. 132 points or something is what they scored last night. So they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough, but, at least they're tired too. Bill Kennedy, Brent Bernanke, Evan Scott, they're the referees for the game tonight. Have a great day, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you enjoy the positivity in this space on the Raptor Free channel. And put me on blast. You may have friends that are suffering in the toxicity of Raptors fan nation and don't know that there is an oasis of hope like this channel. So if you know any friends that are big-time Raptor fans that could really use watching this channel and feeling better about things and getting away from some of the stupid noise out there around Raptors culture right now, come direct them to me and send them here. And I would love to have more people here to contribute and bring great comments and opinions and questions, whatever you guys want to talk about. This is a free-for-all here for the most part. But the most important thing is we are Raptor freaks and we are positive Raptor fans and we love our team and we want our team to win more Larry O'Briens. If you have that goal like I do, then you are on the right channel. So please hit subscribe and have a great day, y'all. Do your day just like the Raptors would and with excellence and premium effort and all out doing the best job you can. And boom, we're going to get another victory today for the Raptors in Milwaukee. And tomorrow I'll react to it and I'll be here at 9:30 a.m. Either way, hopefully it's a W and we just get a big win tonight. You go Scottie Barnes, you go Fred VanVleet, you go Pascals Siakam. Let's get this win tonight against Milwaukee. All right, Cowboys saying smash that like button later, Lex and freaks, and let's go Raptors. Beat the Bucks, baby. Let's take that 52-point buck, whatever buck, down to the ground. Trophy hunting. That's what we're doing tonight. We're trophy hunting. Yeah, we're coming to get that trophy. That's right. Later, Jimmy Pope. I'll see y'all tomorrow. W stream. Thank you, Mike.